$2,000 to make the check engine light go away, and it runs perfectly fine. Let's find out what it is. Let's get started. Sorry I'm so far away, but I just wanted to show you guys. I've heard from my mentor years ago that problems in a shop usually come in threes. You get a heater core in, you can bank on 2 more that week are probably going to show up. How does that happen? 3 different people from 3 different walks of life all have the same problem in the same week. It happens all the time in the shop. It's crazy. Fortunately, these 2 are the same car. They're the same year. They're not the same color, but they don't have the same problems. This one's got a screen just like you saw in the previous video, and a few other issues. We're just waiting on parts and it'll be gone. This one has completely different problems. So this is a 2015 and it has some little cosmetic issues. It's not a brand new looking car, just a daily driver. We'll take a look around it here in a minute. The customer noticed the check engine light is on, but there's really no drivability concerns. It drives just fine. Just wanted to make sure something drastic isn't wrong and brought it in and found out what the issue is. And I'll get Grimes in here in a minute. He's very familiar with these. We've done some here in the shop as well, and it is stupid expensive for what it is. It's dumb. Let's take a look around this real quick. So as we go around this car, we'll start noticing some things. We see that the driver's fog light is missing, and the paint is peeling. And just keep in mind, this is something that I have to do as we go around the car on every car that comes in, because people sometimes don't realize something's broken on their car and they will say, "You did it." Obviously we don't have this problem with this customer. She's a very nice person, so I don't think we'll have any trouble with that. But you can see it's got some salt spray on it or some dirt. It's been driven in the rain. Wheels are in pretty good shape. As we come around to the back, you can see the lens on the tail light is cracked and broken, and we might get a price together and see if she wants to mess with that or not. I can want to do all the things in the world, but ultimately it comes down to, do they want to spend the money, yes or no? A lot of times there's aftermarket units on these you can get. You don't have to go to the dealer for this part. Sometimes there's actually just good used ones on eBay. You can find them on there. It'll be in good condition, usable, and it'll look like it was never broken. So we'll see what they want to do with that. So you can see a little bit of a dented bumper here. We might try to see if we can push that out, but it is plastic. Luckily it's not sheet metal or something. We'll go around to this side. Everything seems to be intact. Everything's good. I don't see any deep gouges or scratches. The paint on the hood is actually starting to fade and bubble as well. The clear coat is anyway. You can kind of see a discoloration in the hood. Unfortunately, we don't do paint jobs. We don't do paint work here in the shop. But if this was to be fixed, they could just remove the hood and the front bumper cover, and they would be able to just repaint those, match them up, and put them back on. Sometimes they can mask and just paint it on the car. Depends on the shop you go to, really. But unfortunately, that's not something we do here. We've actually had phone calls of people say, "Hey, I got some dents in my car. I'd like to get it fixed." We are not a body shop. We're not a paint shop. We are a mechanic shop. So unfortunately, that won't be done here. Let's go ahead and go grab Grimes. Let's get the scan tool hooked up and see what did we find when we looked at the codes.
Wait, you want me here?
Yeah, it looks good.
Closer.
This is our IM608. It's actually very handy. It's Grimes' favorite scan tool here. And as you can see, no wires. It is wireless. There's actually a dongle inside the car. It allows us to read the codes. You can stand outside and see what's going on. So what did we actually find out on this thing? So
when it came in, they said they had a check engine light, and as is really common with these, I figured it was probably going to be CCV. So the code I have is P052E, which is crankcase ventilation valve actuator blocked. So when that happens, it's the little valve inside there, we'll show you in a sec, that gets gummed up with oil or condensate, or it just fails altogether, and it'll throw a check engine light, sometimes a lean code, which we actually do have here, and unfortunately the only fix is to replace the entire CCV. Yep, so it's a very common issue, and the fix every time is this whole contraption of pipes and hoses. You can't buy just the little valve. We're going to show you here in a minute what it looks like, but we've actually done a couple here in the shop, and you've probably seen several of them as well.
It's quite a teardown even just to get to all the parts and pieces.
Yeah, there's quite a bit involved in it.
But it actually runs fine.
Yep.
It just is an emissions problem.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost $2,000. It's crazy. Well, let's get the table over here and let's start talking about what all the parts are involved, and then we'll take a look under the hood and start showing you what is all involved to even get those pieces off. It's pretty tight in there. So I ordered a new one. It actually showed up today. As you can see, it's OEM Mercedes-Benz, and it comes in a really big box because there's quite a lot involved. Where you would think you would just replace a little valve, which like a year or two ago, we looked into this. We searched for like 3 or 4 days, and you cannot buy just the little pieces. It's only sold as an entire unit. And we have actually an old one from a previous job we did, and we'll show you what it looks like. That entire thing has to be replaced, $600 or $700 just for the part. We haven't even done the work yet, just for all this. So which typically is the thing that fails on these?
So actually it's this little valve over here.
Right.
And unfortunately, yeah, these are pressed onto these plastic hoses. So this entire assembly is your crankcase ventilation oil separator. It takes crankcase vapors, condenses them back down, and then goes back into the oil pan that way. And it's attached to the intake tube. Got your intake pressure sensor and that, plus you've also got your CCV diaphragm there. And
this actually goes to the turbo right here, I think. And that goes to the pipe work. This is actually the oil separator right here.
Yep.
And if we're going to be tearing all this apart, we might as well anyway just put everything new. Why would we go that far into it?
Yeah, because the older rubber parts fail, the O-rings, the gaskets. These rubber diaphragms are really well known for failure on tons of other cars.
So here's a scenario that happens, actually it's happened to us, where you get into trouble. We've had on previous other vehicles where we just replaced this thing, but this thing was on its way out, which all of these are probably on their way out. It comes back a second time and a third time, and the customer's like, I thought we had this handled. Why do I have to keep bringing my car back? This is the solution, so you don't have to bring your car back. So.
And yeah, the major parts are underneath of the intake and require intake removal, so there's not really any point in not just replacing the rest of it.
There's a lot of people out there that try to be cheap and piecemeal and do, maybe I can just get by if I just do this. This is not one of those situations at all.
Definitely not something you want to cheap out on.
Right, you'll definitely screw yourself over if you try to do that. So let's go ahead and hop under the hood and take a look at what's going on under there. Again, no gas struts. Got a prop rod. Go ahead and take this off.
That's step one.
Step one. I'll let you guys soak in for a minute all of these pipes and hoses and things that can fail on this car. There is so much stuff piled on top of the engine. Here's part of the unit we just showed you. This is that little elbow piece that goes into the turbo.
Yep. And then the rest of it all snakes back down. You can see that the diaphragm there, but it goes all the way down underneath of the intake.
So that little valve that actually failed, you have to pull all the intake and stuff to even get to it.
Yep. I know there'll be a million people that will say you can do it easier, you can sneak it out, you can do all of that, but Ben's procedure is intake removal. I believe the rear engine mount as well. And yeah, there's quite a bit involved in this.
Well, number one, this is not a 30-minute job.
Nope.
Number two, you guys just saw there's tons of plastic pieces just waiting to break on you, break in half. So you have to take your time and be careful. And roughly, how long does it take to do these?
On this one, it's about a 7-hour job. I think book is like 7.5, something like that. 7
hours. And here we're at $175 an hour working on the European cars. And then we got the $600 or $700 part over there. It adds up fast to $2,000. Really, really fast. All for a check engine light, and the engine actually runs fine. I'll go ahead and let you go back to break, and we'll talk about just how crazy this is. Thanks for showing everyone. You got some more Grimes action. How about that? Luckily, Kansas is not an emissions state. I mean, there's nobody doing emissions checks or anything like that, but you still should try to comply. And even though we don't check emissions here, it is illegal for me to tamper or alter or change the emissions. It's still a federal law, it's not a state law. It's going to take quite a lot of work to get this replaced. One thing to keep in mind is there are some countries, and also I know in New York State, if you don't pass the emissions, they can actually keep your car and not allow you to have it back. But for the most part in this country, they usually you just won't pass, and you'll be illegal to be on the road. You won't get your sticker that goes in the windshield emissions test passed unless you fix the problem. Luckily, this customer understands. They're like, it drives fine. But like Grimes mentioned here to me a minute ago, when those fail, it can have increased oil consumption. It can start burning oil. It can start causing other issues. It may run fine, but underneath the veil, there's things going on that could cause issues. If you let this go too long, you can actually starve your engine of oil. When's the last time you checked your oil? See? A lot of people check that, once a month or something, maybe every other month. But if it uses up all of its oil in 2 weeks and you didn't check it, you could get really into big trouble. So the customer said, hey, I know this is expensive. I kind of read on this and expected this might be the case. And it being so, as much as it stinks, go ahead and do it. I need to have my car running. I don't want things broken on it. It's like emissions and engine and things related like that. Again, we're going to let her know about the tail light and a few other things, but the main issue here was the check engine light. One thing to keep in mind when you have a check engine light on and it runs just fine, that doesn't mean, okay, well, I can still roll my wheels, it still works, so I'm going to just forget about it and go to work. You could cause a lot of damage. Most local auto parts store will actually read code for free. Go to one of those and ask them to read the codes, and they may give you a direction of where to go. In this case, the code pointed directly to what was wrong. After a few other tests, it was pretty easy. We knew, boom, that's exactly what it is. And like Grimes said, this is a very common issue on these. He kind of knew when he saw the codes, he was like, yeah, this is going to be like the 400th one I've seen. There's so many of these. And just like we talked about a minute ago, there's no magic way to bypass or buy little pieces or piecemeal it. He said every one of them he's seen done or done on these always was that entire assembly. So it's kind of a bummer. So I definitely wanted to do a video for you guys and show you how, even though it runs good, there still could be a $2,000 problem under your hood. Don't ignore it. So if you're curious what kind of tools you use in the shop to work on this or any other car, or some of the scan tools we use, just like the one you just saw, they're listed in our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. All the tools we use in the shop are for sale there, things that we recommend. If you purchase anything, we get a small cut and we really appreciate it. Check out Mrs. Wizard's Way. She's got a lot of really good videos going on there, new content. And also hit the subscribe button here because we're booked out a clear month. That means tons of videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.